into the politics, and let's see how this is going to affect our politicians. Okay, we're about to talk about the politicians. Let me get some water first. Let's see how this Mars in Cancer is going to affect Kamala and Donald Trump. Now, I normally do women first. But no. We're going to talk about Mr. Trump first. Okay. I felt like let's do him first. First of all, let me pull up his chart here. Let's see what we got going on with Mr. Trump in his chart. Let me see. Trump, and we will do, here we go. Okay. So we move on into, I just picked a random date. Okay. So let's talk about Trump. First of all, Mars is entering his 12th house. 12th house is what we get. This makes me very suspicious. Okay. 12th house means endings. Could also mean physical endings. Okay. Just let you know. I want you to bring this really clear. Okay. Hidden anger. It could be repressed energies. Focus on spirituality and inner work. That's a positive. Could be about letting go. Maybe he's going to be isolated. Maybe he's going to retreat. How can you do that when you're on a campaign, though? There could be some secretive motives happening here, right? That could be happening. Hidden enemies are things that operate in the background, or people who may not have your best interests at heart are coming for you. Okay. I feel like his is way bigger than Kamala's. I will talk about Kamala's, but it ain't as interesting as Trump's. Okay. Secret actions, hidden motives, covert actions. Okay. Saturn and Neptune is in his 8th house. That's also a mystery over there too. Also represents endings and death. Okay. Not a good sign for him. Why? Because these are big planets. The moon changes, but we also have the eclipse coming, and that is the ruler of his 12th house. Eclipse also represents the death of leaders. When there's an eclipse, usually that can happen. So let's see how that happens. Pluto is in his house of health as well. This has been an ongoing concern of mine. Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, and whenever you have Pluto in this house, in 6th house, it's usually like some health issues here. Okay. Pluto represents death and rebirth, and a mentor, an elderly person. Okay. Pluto is in the sign Capricorn, and Capricorn is the ruler. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and that is in the 8th house of endings. It's not really endings, but death, rebirth. Okay. Capricorn also is decaying. That is what Capricorn represents. Saturn also represents decaying and death too. So be aware of that. And the eclipse happening, the eclipse will be in the sign Pisces, and that's ruling his 8th house. And this could represent power and money that he owes, but we'll get into that eclipse a little bit later. Now, on the 11th, if we talk about the days, okay, and how it affects him, Mars in Cancer. On the 11th is positive. It's going to sextile his MC, and it's going to trine Neptune, his Neptune. Okay, that's positive, right? Effective and compassionate leadership. Maybe his career and creative public image will all be very inspiring. Sextile is something he has to do, though. So, okay, realizing his dreams and ideas through practical action, harmonizing personal values and career goals, opportunities for growth through compassion and action. So that's positive. Now, on the 20th, well, first of all, on the 17th, you have that eclipse happening. Now, this can happen some months later. Doesn't have to happen on the same day or some time before. But let's be very aware that this eclipse is in his 8th house. Okay. The 8th house represents power and endings and rebirth and death. Okay. An ending of something could be an ending of his work. Neptune in Pisces represents the end. Okay. As well. All right. Bye. Now on the 20th of September, Mars is going to conjunct his Neptune. Now, not Neptune, Mercury. Mercury is going to be conjunct this fixed star, 9999. This fixed star is called, I know you can't see it. I hope you can see it. This is a fixed star here, and that's at 9 degrees, and it's called how Alhina. Okay, I can't, y'all. The fixed stars be getting me. The fixed stars be getting me, but it's a fixed star, okay? And it is conjunct at 9 degrees. I hope you can see that. I'm trying to touch it, okay? This is a fixed star and it's at 9 degrees, and his Mercury in Cancer is also at 9 degrees, okay? So you have this conjunction, and this fixed star is acute sensitivity, creativity, imagination, artistic skills, writing. It could be an injury to the feet, to his feet. It's a positive fixed star, so it's not negative, but there is some type of communication, and he's a communicator, hence why it's sitting so close to his, but achievement, um, and it's something creative. I'm so curious to see how this plays out for him and what he's going to communicate, and that is going to be on the 20th, because it's conjunct this fixed star that is very positive. So beneficial influence, blending the nature of Mercury and Venus as well. Where's his Venus? Why do I put Venus here? Oh no, Mercury and Venus are in charge of that fixed star. Yeah, but associated with refinement, creativity, artistic skills, communication abilities, and a sense of mission of purpose. So, like, will he be expressing and communicating his purpose in life? Okay, but yeah, it's also very good at speech and writing. He's already good at that with this Gemini energy here. That's what he's meant to do in his lifetime. But this is going to be very inspirational, and let's see what happens. Okay, it's like a strong inner sense of calling and a strong sense of like a mission I have to do. So let's see what happens on the 20th. Okay, now it's going to conjunct Mercury, right? So that's eloquent and persuasive communication, strong sense of mission in communication. He could be overly sensitive or a tendency to take things personal, and with Mars in conjunction with this fixed star, he can have a creative expression with emotional depth because you're dealing with Cancer, protective instincts in communication, potential for injuries and accidents, though, especially with the feet. Let's see if that happens if he's limping. Okay. Together, though, they are purpose driven action with words, need for emotional balance, heightened subconscious activity, unresolved issues of the past. Maybe there's some hidden fears. There could be some repressed anger. There could be some inner conflict, potential for secrets or hidden agendas to be revealed. However, it's connected to this fixed star, which is positive. So I think it's going to be a positive conjunctions. Conjunctions usually are good and bad, but because we have this fixed star element, I'm thinking is bad, but I'll say some more negative things are both introspection and inner healing, challenges with communication and expression, energetic focus on private or behind the scenes work because we are still in that 12th house. Okay. Heightened intuition or psychic sensitivity because of that 12th house and because we're dealing with some Cancer energy. Risk of sabotage, self sabotage, and unconscious actions, opportunities for spiritual or charitable actions. Okay. So that is what we have that day. That one's a big one. Be ready for that. Now, October 5th is when we have the next doozy, and it's positive, right? Mars is going to trine his Jupiter here at 17 degrees. That's very confident and persuasive communication, harmonious social interaction, very, very positive networking, big expansion of something, expansion in what he's trying to achieve, increased motivation, enthusiasm, and maybe in his community or within the group, right? Or something secretive. Now, the Mars in the 12th house, we may not see any of this, you guys. I just want you to be aware. Or there is an ending of something. So that we will see. Because something, if it ends, I would think we would have to see it. But it could be something successful, something that's very optimistic. This also could be dealing with legal things or higher education or negotiation matters too. But we may not be able to see it because we're dealing with the 12th house. Now, on the 17th of October for Mr. Trump, Mars is going to conjunct his Saturn. Now, again, this is 12th house. We may not see this conjunction. Okay. Now, this is also for with a fixed star, and it's called Pollux. I think we discussed this before. Well, I have, right? Contemplation, speculation. It could be representing astrology. Something is ruined, disgrace. This also represents death. Okay. Now, again, I keep seeing endings with him. We're in the 12th house of endings, the 12th house of death. Now, this is 23 degrees on this fixed star. The fixed star means it's taking over this energy, it's taking over this energy, it's taking over Mars, it's taking over Saturn. 23 degrees. 22 degrees is dealing with this group here. Makes me think that his party could be ending him. This is my personal opinion. Okay. I don't think his political party likes him. Just throwing it out there. Maybe they think he's a wild card. I don't know. The emotional, the immortal twin, the heartless judge. This is a very unfortunate fixed star. He had a fixed star conjunction here, which he still does, with this algol, and this is why he got shot with this in his house while he was giving a speech and on stage. Yeah, but this is representing courage, strength, determination, aggressiveness, of success through struggling, dealing with conflicts. It carries qualities similar to the planet Mars, and it's conjunct Mars. Okay, so there is a fiery, assertive, and sometimes confrontational influence. And maybe we won't see this confrontation, but he's confronting a big man. He's confronting the system. Okay, the secret system that could be happening. This fixed star is known for being brave. It's known for being bestowing courage and ability to face challenges head on, determination, physical strength, assertive action, strong, resilient, capable of overcoming obstacles. Now, the downside is that this aggression can cause some violence, certain conflicts, sometimes tendency towards cruelty and ruthlessness, and which can cause an ending. So I'm wondering if he's going to confront the authority, and they're like, "No, we ain't got time for you." Boop. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm telling you what this meaning is. Avoid destructive outcomes is what the advice is, but not Mr. Leo rising and Pluto in that first house. It ain't happening. Anyway, but I just want you to know that this Mars in Cancer conjunct this fixed star Pollux, Pollux, could represent an ending. And I've already discussed so many signs of this ending, this Pluto in the sixth house, these planets in this eighth house of endings. I just, I wouldn't want this. Okay. I'm just telling you. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so it's conjunct Saturn in Cancer, right? So emotional resilience. If we're not going to say it's the ending, maybe the good side is that it could be some resilience here, or maybe there's some harsh realities of some emotional security, challenges with emotional expression. But maybe he'll be a fierce protector. Maybe there's potential for emotional conflicts and we may not see it. Maybe it's going to end an emotional conflict. Courage in emotional battles, determined, endurance. Let me see what else we have. Potential for internal conflict or frustration, channeling energies into constructive outlets, learning through struggle and hard work. Now, it's also going to be conjunct his Venus. That is not in this fixed star, just so you know. His Venus, though, is conjunct a fixed star, which is Procyon, Procyon. His Venus in his natal chart. Okay, so regardless of the Mars in Cancer, him alone with the Venus, his Venus represents like a cult or politics, and people wanted him to be a politician. Believe it or not, if you are against it, a lot of people love him being a politician, and that's because his Venus is conjunct this fixed star, and this fixed star is taking over this. But it also represents sudden success, then disaster. Also represents a cult or dissipation, like an ending of something. It's not necessarily a positive one. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, when Mars is conjunct this Venus outside of the fixed star, there is confrontation, hidden fears, limitation, discipline, and hard work behind the scenes, secret or hidden relationships and desires, intensified focus on spiritual and healing practices, managing frustrations and emotional Isolations, opportunity for maybe emotional or psychological breakthroughs, potential for ending cycle or phases. Again, potential for ending cycles or an ending phase. This could be an end of something because when Mars enters Leo, he is starting a new way of achieving things, a new year. So there could just be an ending of a cycle, not necessarily him. But I just want to be aware of that. This Venus is also what we naturally attract, our support, and there could be some support with this aggression that could be happening too. Okay, so on the 17th, what else? Mars is going to quincunx the moon. Let me see. On the 17th here, Mars is going to quincunx his moon in Sagittarius. No. Why do I have that? This is the opposition here. Oh yeah, it is quincunxing. Okay, so when he quincunxes his moon in Sagittarius, a quincunx means that there's some type of uncomfortable energy here. Something is it makes you feel uncomfortable. It's something quite right. It could be awkward. Inner emotions and outward expressions. There's tensions, inner frustrations and emotional restlessness. Challenges between balancing emotional security with that Mars in Cancer versus the freedom. Sagittarius wants his freedom and wants to be out and a very adventurous. I wonder if he's very optimistic too with that Mars. I mean, that moon in Sagittarius. There could be some subconscious drives influencing his emotional reactions, need for adjustment in emotional and spiritual practices, navigating hidden emotional triggers and impulsive actions. Okay. Yeah. But there's something off there and he's not quite comfortable. Now, let me pull a card. Why it won't it let me click this? Okay, let me pull a card for Mr. Trump here. Okay. But that is what we have for Mr. Trump with Mars in Cancer. Everyone, let's see how this ends. Full. Okay, he's starting a new journey. Starting a new journey. He needs to expect the unexpected. Mars will be entering Leo. He needs to pack light. I'm going to pull one more card. I'm going to pull the card at the bottom. Okay, so there's a new journey with conflict here. Okay, this is competition and conflict, change and conflict, with very fiery energy, very competitive kind of energy, and that is what we have with the Five of Brooms, and then we have the Fool card, which is starting a new journey. Okay, didn't say ending; it just said new journey. Okay. So it makes me think that there's going to be an end of something, but starting new. Okay. So now let's talk about Miss Kamala. Let me drink my water. Now, Miss Kamala Harris, her Mars, let's get into it, shall we? Let me fix her chart by Donald. On to the next. Kamala. Let's see what she has here. Okay. Kamala, Mars is entering her second house. Okay. And I'm sorry I have all these fixed stars. I just want to show you where they are, and I need to look at them too. But Mars is entering her second house here. Okay. Mars in Cancer. And we'll scooch it back. But Mars entering her second house, what does that mean? She's going to be about the money. Okay. She's going to be focused on her resources and money, focused on financial strategies, maybe some fundraising efforts, a potential for financial conflicts and controversies, reevaluating her campaign values and the priorities of her campaign, increased emphasis on economic policies and security, potential for aggression with spending, aggressive spending, and financial risks defending against financial criticism or attacks, energetic drive towards financial support. Maybe a lot of finances will be coming her way. She's going to be achieving it. And we're not talking about Venus. Assertive messaging about economic reforms, drive for personal wealth, transparency, especially if there are questions or doubts raised in the public or by the media, navigating a balance between cautious and bold moves. Now, This Mars in Cancer, remember I told you it's about abortions as well. So maybe a focus on that and getting more money with that. Let's see how that goes. Now, as far as aspects, right? Mars in Cancer is going to sextile her IC in a sign Virgo once Mars moves in Cancer. Works well with her working for America, her roots and her past. This works well for her if she uses that energy. Now it's going to trine her Mercury. That's positive, right? And once it enters Cancer, thinking and communication and getting what she wants emotionally will work out for her, and her effort is very positive. Okay. On the 27th, though, we also have a positive, not a though. On the 27th, also, Mars is going to sextile her Uranus. That is positive. It's going to sextile her Pluto, her Venus. Uranus means that she's going to probably try to do something different, be very flexible. Communication is going to be big, or maybe social media is going to really help her regarding. Now, this is sextile, so she has to work on it, or maybe her being a female, that's going to work with her. Now, Mars in Cancer is going to conjunct, when it's at that 13 degree, the fixed sign cannabis. And cannabis is about journeys and creativity, scandal, violence, great glory, fame, wealth, changes evil to good. It's a positive fixed star, and it is cannabis right here. Positive fixed star. So it's conjunct her. No, oh, okay. It's going to conjunct her Pluto. Yeah, it's going to conjunct Pluto because that's 15 degrees. So when this sucker moves to 15 degrees here, you see Canopus is 15 degrees with Pluto, 15 degrees. So keywords here is leadership, guidance, wisdom, success, navigation, travel, influence, strategic thinking. Yeah, so there's something with leadership, and her wisdom and the ability to guide others is going to bring success. Could be involving some long journey, maybe the journey she's been on. Or navigating some complex situation. Let me see. People with this energy are very wise, and they're strategic leaders and capable of making difficult decisions and guiding others to success. Positive. Now, Pluto does represent a rebirth. And remember when we talked about Mr. Trump over here with that eighth house energy. But this is going to be very positive for her. Expect the unexpected, and then she'll get support. Maybe this rebirth, we'll call it a rebirth, happens when she's trying to achieve stuff in her home of America, and she needs to expect the unexpected. It came out of the blue for her, and then she's getting support. Now, her open enemies, which is who she's running against, Trump, is Sagittarius. Sagittarius ruler is Saturn. No, it is Jupiter. And when you have Sagittarius, I am hungry. When I looked up just now, I was like, Danyell, it is 1:30. You need to eat. Let me move fast. Okay. Okay. Let me just say that Sagittarius is the ruling energy for her open enemies, right? And if we look at Sagittarius, it is Jupiter, and Jupiter is in that first house. Talking a lot, really affecting her personality. Is she her own enemy? I wonder. Not even Trump. He's not even her enemy. But affecting her image and how she comes across people. Anyway, but when it sextiles Pluto, she will be very driven, inspired, empowered actions, strategic drive, a lot of support, a lot of action. October 3rd. And then it's very positive. Another positive is that Cancer is going to trine her Neptune. So when it trines her Neptune, a lot of inspired and compassionate action. Maybe she's more creative, very intuitive energy, heightened sensitivity, ability to navigate complex situations with grace. Okay. And on the 19th, she's got a lot of positive with this Mars in Cancer. Okay. On the 19th, here, Mars in Cancer was sextile her Jupiter. Again, this is something she has to work. So Mars will be sextiling her Jupiter here in that 12th house. We may not see this, but could be money coming her way, and it could be coming from an occult. or something secretive. But we may not see it, but something with finances and what she values is coming her way. Now, this one is when it gets bad. On the 26th of October, Mars in Cancer will square her sun in Aries. So here we go, right? And okay, so this could be some conflicts with some allies or some groups, or challenges with balancing assertiveness and being very diplomatic. Or maybe there could be an issue with her VP, financial stress impacting emotional well-being, creative tension, also the internet, social media, maybe the campaign strategy or the messaging is not working, a risk of overreacting or acting compulsively. Her personal values and public perception could be a big issue here, and that's towards the end of October. Get ready for that. Also, the end of October, so everything works great until the October ends. Okay, towards the end of October, this will be quincunx Saturn. Okay, and tension between financial strategy and her ideology and her philosophies and commitments. There's struggles and balancing practicality with innovation, a need for realignment with her values and her beliefs. Like what her campaign stands for. Is there some tension here? Something that's not making her feel comfortable, learning from differences, such as her being a woman or her being different, or building a stronger foundation. What else do we have? Oh, maybe conflicting advice from experts could be happening here too, because ninth house does represent experts. Let me pull some astrology for her, for Miss Kamala, and then I have to hurry up and do the horoscopes. But let me pull a card for Kamala. A lot of movement, a lot of progression. This is positive for her. And lastly, the high priestess, she needs to use her intuition. She needs to use her emotional healing. Okay. Not emotional healing. She needs to use her emotional wisdom. But there's a lot of progression, and something psychologically needs to happen with her. I feel like, not psychologically, intuitively. She needs to use her intuitions. But this is someone who's spiritual wisdom. She had a lot of positive aspects. Let me see if Neptune is involved. The moon is, yeah. Cancer will also trine her Neptune. Yeah, the moon. There's something there though with this moon, because that card does have a moon in it. Oh, where is it? Oh, this one doesn't show, but the high priestess normally has a moon in it. But there's movement and progression, and maybe she's going to get better. I just don't have hopes for her, far as her with her intuition. I feel like she's very calculated and very serious. Not that she's very funny and very lighthearted in interviews, but I think she has a goal and she's very serious in achieving her goal, and there's just no budging from that. So she wants to come off not problematic. And I think that has a lot to do with her son being a Libra, and her not really speaking what she really thinks with that Mercury in the sign Scorpio. Anyway, but yeah, I am just hungry. So it's hard for me to really pull out the intuition for the cards, but I just want to say I think that there's a lot of options that she has, and she's more blinded by the material of what she wants to achieve, her higher goal. There is that, and she's not tapping into her intuition and being deep in the spiritual being of things. Okay. Yes. But anyway, but overall, Mars in Cancer